So it's been just over 2 years since purchasing my Mazda MX-5 RF, and today I'll be giving you my long-term review. I'll be covering areas such as performance, design, running costs, reliability, and also what it's like to live with. To start things off, let's talk about price. This car was on sale for £16,500, which I thought was a great price. It's a 2018 model year, so it was 2 years old at the time I bought it. The model that I have here is a 2018 GT Sport Nav. The car has the 2-litre engine with 160 brake horsepower, which doesn't sound like much, but for a car that weighs just over a ton, it's more than enough. The manual gearbox is incredible and is one of the reasons why MX-5s are so popular. You really have to drive one to appreciate how great they are. The MX-5 has never been about having the most power or the quickest 0 to 60. None of that matters because what this car does is offers you one of the best driving experiences you will ever have. Even after having this car for just over 2 years, I feel like the performance is spot on. In terms of comfort and handling, the car is very comfortable even on long motorway journeys. Yes, you do feel more of the road surface due to the low driving position, but that's what this car is all about, making you feel connected to the road. The seats are superb and the driving position is spot on. I'm 5'8" and I fit perfectly. In terms of handling, I was expecting more from the factory setup, but this was massively improved since I upgraded to Michelin Pilot Sport 4 tyres and lowering the car on I-back lowering springs. Design is something that Mazda do so well, and the MX-5 RF is a perfect example of that. I think Mazda have perfected it when it comes to the design of the ND generation MX-5. I do like how the soft top version looks, but for me, the RF is the better looking one. Let me know what you think. I also think that the design has aged really well, and it's hard to believe that this generation MX-5 has entered its 8th year. In terms of the interior design, I actually really like it. It's quite an old school design with the analog speedometer and rev counter, but you also have this really nice digital display on the left, which modernizes it. The build quality is also very impressive and it definitely feels premium. I love how the exterior colour of the car is also shown inside the car too, with these really nice door cards. One thing I really appreciate is having manual controls for the aircon. Most modern cars have this built into their infotainment system, which makes it really difficult to use when you're driving. For a car of this size, it's quite impressive as to how much technology they've managed to squeeze into such a small package. The Mazda navigation system is actually quite good. It's simple to use and the menus are clear. You control the system using this rotary dial and shortcut buttons. You can use the touchscreen, however it only works when the car is stationary. This particular model didn't come with Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, but is something I am going to add myself this year. This model did come with heated seats, cruise control, reverse parking sensors, lane departure warning, automatic wipers and headlights, and a Bose sound system. Now let me talk about the running cost of an MX-5 RF. Over the last 2 years I've covered around 20,000 miles, which is just over 800 miles a month. A full tank of petrol cost me just under £60, and that gives me around 350 miles of range. In terms of fuel economy, this isn't something I worry about too much, because at the end of the day, I just want to enjoy driving this car. But for the purpose of this video, I tend to average around 30 to 40 mpg, which is brilliant. Next up is insurance. My first year of insurance was £600 and my second year was £340, so that makes a total of £940. Annual tax for the MX-5 RF is £155. In terms of servicing, the MX-5 is fairly affordable, even for a full service in the MOT with gearbox and differential oil changes, you're looking at around £400. I have another video explaining this in more detail, which you can see by clicking on the link at the top of this video. Next, let me talk to you about the issues and faults I've had with the car. Actually, there haven't been any. This car has been so reliable and it hasn't let me down once. Even during extreme winter weather, the car would start first time, which is great. As long as you keep up with the regular maintenance, I don't see you facing any major issues with this car. If there's one thing that all MX-5s have in common, it's rust. Now, I've not come across any major issues with the ND generation rust issue, but all previous generation MX-5 have suffered from it. For my own peace of mind, having decided that I want to keep this car for the long term, I will be getting the car rust protected. It's an expensive service, but I know it will be worth it in the long run. When it comes to customizing your MX-5, there are endless amounts of modifications you can do to the car, and a lot of these are quite affordable too. With a car like this, you are encouraged to customize it and make it your own. You will very rarely come across an unmodified MX-5. So my last 2 years with the MX-5 RF have been incredible. I've really enjoyed driving this car, and it feels great to be part of such a supportive community. The MX-5 RF was a car that I dreamt of having as soon as I saw one on Auto Trader, and it hasn't disappointed. If you have any questions about anything I've covered in this video, please let me know in the comments section below. I also want to say a big thank you to everyone that has subscribed to my channel and watched my videos. The response has been amazing and is something I definitely wasn't expecting. Don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you want to see more videos about my MX-5 RF, and turn on notifications so you don't miss my next video. See you next time.